Are we okay? Okay. So here we go with our slideshow. He is most famous for his black and white photos of the American West. And he is most famous for photographs with a very sharp focus and a use of full tonal range. In other words, he wanted the black and white imagery of his photos to be very pronounced. He developed his own system of image making with a friend of his named Fred Archer called the zone system, which is a method of achieving a desired final print through a technical understanding of how the tonal range of an image is the result of choices made in exposure, negative development, and printing. I hate the toolbar. Excuse me, Laura, is there any way, do I have to exit the slideshow in order to get rid of it? Because I don't have access to my, we're just stuck with it here. Because I just don't have my cursor to move it out of the way. Do I click on this? If I click on this, it's just going to move the slide.
You don't have a mouse?
I don't have my cursor. Oh, you found it all of a sudden.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Without a mouse, I can't help you here. I'm not.
Sorry, folks at home, we're having a technical problem. If you could just give us a minute. We have our brilliant librarian trying to fix it for us. Hey, all right, so
Yeah, maybe keep going. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not. I can't grab it.
can we go backwards in the slideshow? Because we've advanced too far.
This way? The other way.
This way. Yeah, you're giving it all away. All right, well, you saw all the good stuff. So now we're back where we should be. Okay, thanks. So anyway, what Adams was most famous for were these incredible darks and lights in his photographs. Notice the brilliant white light and the very dark shadows in this particular photograph. They're amazing. He was a lifelong advocate for environmental conservation, as I mentioned before. At age 12, he was given his first camera. And that was during his first visit to Yosemite Park. And later, he developed his photographic work as a member of the Sierra Club, which he joined when he was very young. He later became the president of the Sierra Club and he and his wife both worked for them for many, many years. And as I mentioned, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1980. He was also a key advisor in the founding and establishment of the photography department at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. And this was an amazing thing about Adams. He elevated photography from just a hobby to an art form. He was one of the first photographers who did work that was so beautiful, it became recognized as art and not just a craft or a hobby. And you can see from this why. A little bit about his background. He was born in the Fillmore district of San Francisco. He was an only child. This is a little interesting, I think. His paternal grandfather founded a very prosperous lumber business, but later Ansel Adams, the environmentalist, as well as artist, condemned the lumber industry for cutting down so much of the great redwood forests in California. One of Adams' earliest memories was watching the smoke from fires caused by the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. He was only 4 years old, and in the second aftershock in the earthquake, he fell and scarred his nose, which necessitated for him breathing through his mouth for the rest of his life. He was a very active child. He was hyperactive and spent most of his life in the woods and out in nature. He did not like sports, and he collected bugs and loved nature all the way from Lobos Creek in San Francisco area all the way to Baker Beach and the sea cliffs leading to Land's End. So that's quite a large piece of geography. If you've ever been to the San Francisco area, that's quite a large area in the cliffs of San Francisco. All right, his father had a 3-inch telescope, and they loved doing astronomy on Mount Hamilton at the Lick Observatory in San Francisco. This is kind of interesting. He was dismissed from several private schools for being restless and inattentive. And starting at 12, his father and mother homeschooled him and also had many private tutors. Oh, you figured out how to get rid of the toolbar. That would be great. So the image that we're looking at now while Laura's looking at this is called El Capitan, which is the most famous peak in Yosemite. Ansel Adams devoted his life to photographing this one mountain. This is a mountain here, those of you who are here in person. It looks like a cloud, but he, like, remember our artist friends Monet and Manet, loved the changing quality of light so much that he went multiple times throughout his life back to El Capitan to photograph it in different light conditions, because he was so fascinated by what sunlight and moonlight would do to the whole feeling of the space that he was in. And he loved the way light could dissolve something as solid as a rock surface and make it look almost invisible and ghost-like. He was fascinated by that. Isn't this beautiful? Look at how bright and white the light is with the darker foreground. The contrast is amazing. Adams had a very loving relationship with his father, but his mother disapproved of his interest in photography, and apparently they had a contentious, unhappy relationship throughout his life. He's quoted as saying during his first trip to Yosemite in 1916, this is the quote, "The splendor of Yosemite burst upon us and it was glorious. One wonder after another descended upon us. There was light everywhere. A new era began for me." And this is when his father gave him his first Eastman Kodak Brownie box camera. Anybody here remember having one of those? Eileen? Yeah. I love my Brownie box camera. I bet folks at home remember having a Brownie box camera. Again, here's El Capitan. Now we're looking at it in winter when it's snow-capped, and it's a whole different feel, isn't it? The mountain looks way more solid. It's probably at a way different time of day, too. In 1918, Adams got the Spanish flu, And this is kind of miraculous. They thought he was not going to survive, but he insisted on going to Yosemite. And while there, he recovered. He completely recovered. He also started to play the piano at this particular time in his life. And he was introduced to a ranger there. He was a ranger and a landscape painter named Harry Best, who had a home studio there where he also had a piano. And Adams started playing piano on his trips to Yosemite and became a lifelong pianist as well as a photographer. So during the summer months, he would travel all over and do photography. And in the winter, he would practice the piano with the same incredible devotion and obsession that he practiced his photography in the summer months. Laura, you're going to have to admit, because I don't have my mouse. At the age of 17, he joined the Sierra Club, like I mentioned, and he became an employee of the Sierra Club and ran the visitor facility in Yosemite Valley. And then he met his wife, also a member of the Sierra Club, and he and she in later years became directors of the Sierra Club. Here's a wonderful quote from Adams that I really like. I believe in beauty. I believe in stones and water, air and soil, people and their future and their fate. I think that's kind of nice. Okay, let's look at the next slide. So this is, what do you call it when snow falls off the mountains? Avalanche. Beautiful photograph of an avalanche of the snow crashing down the mountain. Again, you can see his concerns for light and dark, the black rock against the gorgeous shades of white and gray of the snow. In 1927, he became connected with an insurance magnate, an arts patron named Albert Bender, who helped him market and perfect his portfolio. And he started making a lot of money as a photographer. He then started taking trips to Santa Fe, where he was photographing work, but he became close friends with people like Georgia O'Keeffe and the photographer Paul Strand. Paul Strand became a huge influence on Ansel Adams because Strand also believed that photography was an art form, not just a way to capture moments when you're on vacation. And they loved him. He was a very talkative, outgoing person, and all of these artists in Santa Fe fell in love with him. And it was here that Adams produced his first book called Taos Pueblo. He has done some of the most beautiful photographs of Georgia O'Keeffe ever produced. And Strand suggested at that point that Adams start printing on glossy paper, which was a huge turning point for Adams because it helped him to make his black and whites even stronger in contrast. So that was a big deal for Adams. He emphasized, starting at this stage in his career too, the use of small apertures or openings in the camera and long exposures in natural light. And this helped him to create sharp details with a wide range of distances and focus. And guess what? At this point, he met a famous Hoboken person. Anybody remember the name of the famous Hoboken photographer? Yes, Eileen, you just said it. You just said it. She just said Stiglitz. He met Alfred Stiglitz. And Stiglitz, who lived in Hoboken and was the husband of George O'Keeffe, Stieglitz had a gallery in New York at that time and influenced Adams into opening his own gallery. And Adams opened a gallery in San Francisco. It was the first gallery solely only for photography in the United States. And he also started publishing essays in photography magazines and wrote an instructional book called Making a Photograph in 1935. He started in the 1930s to sell his photographs to help in environmental preservation. Woohoo! And he created a limited edition book called Sierra Nevada, the John Muir Trail in 1938, as part of the Sierra Club's effort to secure the designation of Kings Canyon as a national park. This book and his testimony before Congress played a vital role in the success of that effort, and Congress designated Kings Canyon as a national park in 1940. This is one of my favorite Ansel Adams photographs. It's really, because I enlarged it, it's not a great reproduction, but it has a beautiful ethereal quality to it. It is actually a mountain. It also could be the top of a wave in the ocean. It's hard to tell, right? It doesn't look solid at all because of the clouds rolling in across the top. It reminds me of the very famous Japanese print by Hiroku of the wave. Composition is very similar, although the wave may be on the other side. Can't remember now. Forgive me for being so old. And look at this. Very simple composition. He was less interested in composition, but way more interested in those darks and lights, which is going to be our focus today as well. So much more to talk about. It's just incredible. One of the things I admire a lot about Ansel Adams is that during World War II, he was so upset by the bombing of Pearl Harbor that he created a photo essay. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those pictures, but he created a photo essay. All of a sudden I have a mouse. He created a photo essay about Japanese people living in the United States, in support of Japanese people living in the United States and against their internment in concentration camps. And it is called The Story of Loyal Japanese Americans, Born Free and Equal, The Story of Loyal Japanese Americans. The images were shown at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Museum of Modern Art. And of course, they were not well received by most of the American public at that time. So he was very brave and very strong in his personal beliefs and would not let anyone stop him in expressing those beliefs. He was the founder, he was asked to form and became the founder of the art photography department at the California School of Fine Arts. It was probably one of the first photography schools in an art school in America. He was the recipient of 3, not 1, but 3 Guggenheim Fellowships during his career. And President Jimmy Carter asked him to photograph him for the official presidential portrait. And as far as I know, Ansel Adams may be the only photography artist asked to do that. In 1952, he founded Aperture, which is probably the most renowned and serious journal on photography in the United States. And Aperture has a wonderful art gallery on West 27th Street, right here in New York, which I recommend highly. All right, enough about his life. He died from cardiovascular disease on April 22nd, 1984, in Monterey Peninsula in Monterey, California. I love this part, it's sad, but his body was cremated and his ashes were scattered on the Half Dome at Yosemite National Park. I think that's a perfect way for his life to be remembered. Okay, look at the gorgeous, gorgeous contrast in this photograph. The details are spectacular. You gotta love it, right? Anybody not like this photograph? You're more than welcome to. All right, so I'm gonna whip through the slides now quickly. If you have any questions or thoughts about Ansel Adams, please. I love when people call out. You don't have to raise your hands. Here is Yosemite once again. This is El Capitan from the other side. I love the waterfall. He photographed this waterfall millions of times. There's the waterfall again. Look how the sunlight is hitting the mountain in a different way. Oh, thank you, Laura. It's just gorgeous. His photographs are for sale to this day. You can get beautiful reproductions for not that much money. There are calendars available. The images are controlled by his family and estate. And I believe you can buy through the Sierra Club. Oh, welcome. If you're here for art class, we will find a spot for you. El Capitan again, just when you thought he couldn't photograph it one more time, we will end with El Capitan. Anyone here ever been to Yosemite?
Yep.
I have never been. I'm dying to go. And I lived in California for many years. Yeah, shame on me. Shame, shame.
So is all his work black and white?
No, he did work in color, but black and white was what he always came back to. Good question, Lizzie. Thanks for asking. No, black and white was his preferred. All right, any other thoughts or comments? So I'm gonna close this screen, but later on I will put an image of his work up for everyone to look at, because we will be doing landscapes today. Our job today will be to work only in black and white, however, and I brought in a variety of media and tools. You can work in liquid media. I have paint, I have ink, I have charcoal, I have Sharpie, and I have Uniball pen, and as always, I have pencil. So you can either use dry media or wet media. By wet media, I mean paint or ink. By dry media, I mean pen or pencil or charcoal. I am going to demonstrate for you today how to use both. But first, I'm going to show you something called the grayscale. The grayscale, I'm going to get out of the slideshow, if it'll let me. Oops. Now what have I done? You don't want to leave Zoom, but we got our cursor back. That's the good news. We want to stop the share. Okay, goody. The grayscale is a tool that's used by artists to help them see darks and lights. I'm just looking for my, here it is, folder with grayscale images. So let's open this one first. I'm going to share the screen. Not going to talk too long about this because I don't know, I feel it's kind of obvious. Everybody able to see this image at home? No. Okay, let's try that again. I did something wrong.
We saw it briefly and then it disappeared.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Nope. What happened? You still see it?
Yes.
I'm trying to make it bigger. Okay. You can see this?
Yes, but
Yep.
it's small.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll try and make it even bigger. There we go. And folks here, now at least I can move this out of the way. So the grayscale is used by professional artists to help them see the variety of tones you can get by mixing black with white. The amount of grays that are available to us are infinite. And I'm going to show you how you can do this in a moment. I'm going to stop the share on this image and show you just one more picture. I want to show you this one. So we can close this now. Everybody at home able to see this?
Yes.
I'm showing you this one because I want you to understand that the grayscale can go in two different directions. You can go from dark to light. You see the scale on the top? You can go from black and keep adding white until you get all the way to pure white. And you do that by adding more and more white to the black.
You're saying you still have a little black in the light?
You start with black.
They never been truly white.
If you're careful, and I'm going to show you the steps to do it, you can achieve pure white. Yes. And the reverse is true. You can go from white all the way to black. And look at the range of shades of gray. And I'm putting out there, you can have even more than what they're showing here. This is a commercially made scale. Do I want you to achieve this perfection today? Absolutely not. Have I ever asked you to achieve perfection? No. No. This has been done by a machine that mixes with a computer. So this is not necessary. I just want you to know that this is what the grayscale is. And this is what Adams worked with in his brain. This is what obsessed him his whole life. And this is what fascinated him. When he looked at things out in nature and saw it through the eye of the camera, this is what he loved. He loved thinking about nature in terms of black and white. And that's what we're going to try and do today as well. All right, any questions so far? I love that question, Alice. Eileen. Sally, sorry, Sally. Alice, the other Alice is at home today. Sorry, Sally. So we have two Sallys and two Alices today. Sorry, Sally. All right, so now I'm going to do a quick demo. Those of you who don't want to watch the demo, I can't put the picture on the screen for you to copy now, but if you are able to, you can access many photographs of Adams' work online. And if you like, you can work from one of his landscapes to create your own landscape in black and white. Those of you who want to watch me create shades of gray, watch the demo. It will be on the TV screen. And those of you who are here, you can stand behind the camera and watch me do that too. So if you're going to watch the demo, folks who are here, you don't have to go get supplies yet. You can just relax. There's plenty of materials for everybody to use. You can just wait for me to get set up. All right. So here we go with the demo. Just give me a minute to get my supplies. SD is causing trouble at the back, as always. All right. Those of you here who are ready to begin on your landscape. Oh, sorry. One thing, folks who are here. This is messy work. I have brought in newspaper. Please take at least one sheet of newspaper to cover your table to protect the table. Not a whole lot of newspapers. Don't stare at it. So we're going to start first with the wet media. We're actually paint the heck. Absolutely, yes. You don't have the model today, that's good. I know, that's not. Planning to watch my demo. Really? Smarter to watch it first. Really? Yeah. That's great. Yay. Finally got our yesterday. No, I had to find one. I'll be back with that. First thing I'm gonna demonstrate, and folks at home, I hope you can hear me. So can you see the screen? Oh. So what I have in this plate is acrylic paint. And you can see it's thick. That's how you know it's paint. This is ink, and I'm going to demonstrate the difference in a moment. The ink is very thin and watery. It comes out fast. So that's the difference. The paint is thick, the ink is thin. If you are going to mix your grays from white to black, which I think is the easier way to go, we're going to start with a lot of white. Need a cup of water. Clean your brush. And we're only going to put a tiny bit of black with a lot of white. To get your initial shades of gray. I already put too much black. It's already too dark. And I broke the biggest rule of thumb. Should really mix on your plate, never on your, only mix in. Lots of white. Thank you. Rinse, wipe your brush. This is something, if you want pure differentiation of shades of gray, you have to be very careful to wash and wipe. And you can get very pale gray. So that should be first. See? Doesn't even look like red. So that's great. That's what you want for the first. This is already too dark. So if you're going from very light to dark, the addition of the black is done very gradually. Add just a teeny bit of black for each step in the process. If you're doing the reverse, you're going from black to white. Start with the black. Lots of black. And just a teeny bit of white. And you may not even see a difference in the beginning. For your first shade of gray. And each step of the way, you just add a little bit more white. And you add it to the color that you mixed prior to. So I don't add it to the pure black, I add it to the last color that I mixed. Now I put a little bit more white into the last color I mixed. And it's a little bit lighter. And so on until I get to white. If you want to practice this before you start your landscape, You can. I think it's a lot of fun. But you may not have time to finish your landscape if you do this. Just saying. But it's good to know that I have to do this in art school. Everybody who's interested in color mixing, this is the kind of thing that they make you practice. And it helps you to see how to create shadow and dark and light. All right, so that's paint, and somebody can use this so we don't waste it. Ink, whole different ballgame. Could somebody get me a clean plate or a cup so I don't have to walk all the way back? So, ink is very thin and liquid. Like I said, it comes out fast. You have to be very careful. See? I already made a mess. Okay. You need water, but you don't need white anything. Here's the thing. No. Black, you use the ink strip. Just gorgeous. If you want it to be lighter in shade, you add water. Just like watercolor. Too dark, you add more water. It is one of my favorite things to make. All right, dry. Oh. Charcoal, fabulous tool to draw with. Completely dry. Very messy, but with charcoal, you can use it on its side to create wonderful texture. It is terrific if you are trying to create volume. You can blend it and spread it. Have something rounded. Can go and you can use the edge for very dark. See how I'm pressing the edge, and you can go from very dark to very light by blending. There are also blending sticks back on the equipment table that you can use if you don't want to get your fingers dirty. You can also use any kind of pencil. If you use the side of the pencil, the shade. Again, blend fingertips or a blending stick. I call them stumpies. I think you know what they look like. Can you see? Yeah, right there. That's a stumpy. Thank you very much. This is a stumpy or a stump. You can blend using this tool. Once the tip of the stump becomes dirty, you can actually draw with it. It's a great tool. You can use Sharpies, but Sharpies are always dark. So they're a bit limiting. Does anybody have a Sharpie available? Could somebody hand me a Sharpie? Back there, there's a bag of Sharpies, I think. I think you see a Sharpie. Black Sharpie. Yeah, maybe in that box. No, get the charcoal. Here, I'll run get one. One more second, everybody. Sorry. No. Yes. Everybody, such a big help. Thank you. So, everybody watch. Sharpies come in different sizes. They're a great drawing tool, but you know, they're line. They're for line. You can use them to create shadow by a technique we call cross-hatching, where you lay the lines over each other, and the darker the shadow, the more lines you use. If the object is curved, for example, if you're trying to create an apple, and this side of the apple is your shadow, you would put more lines on shaded side of the apple. Fewer as you move across to the lighter side. Can't really shade, but you could shade this way, the side of the pen. It's challenging. And the Sharpies come with different tip sizes, so you can do it with a fine line or a wider tip, like I was just using. What I like about using pens to do shading with is they make a beautiful texture. And that's it for the demonstration. I'm now going to put a picture by Ansel Adams up on the screen that you can copy to create your own black and white landscape, or you can look online to find your own Ansel Adams or any landscape that you would like to copy in black and white. Any questions? I would recommend, this is a great question from Sally, thank you for asking it. I would recommend that you use the acrylic paint if this is the first time you've ever done this technique. Yep. You choose whichever, or pencil. Pencil. Yes. Yeah, charcoal is challenging. Really? Yes. But I don't want to inhibit you. If you want to use charcoal, please no. Okay. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to make anybody sad. Excuse me. All right, here we go with the Ansel Adams photograph. Give me one more minute to get that up and running. Sally, you are awesome. You always ask the best questions. What do we think? Instead of the landscape, did you not love this photograph of the leaf? Yeah. The frozen leaf? Let's try this one. If there are any objections, speak now, but forever hold your peace. I crazy love this picture. What do you think? Do you like this picture, guys? I like the leaf. That's what I'm finding. You like this one? You could do from your imagination. You could do whatever you want. Yeah. You guys just learned an entire year's curriculum in 15 minutes. I'm proud of you. You don't have to come back. Esty. Their art school, well, I don't know now, but when I went to art school, grayscale took a whole year. Color mixing, a whole year.
That makes me feel better.
It's practice, like learning how to draw the human figure. You hated that in the beginning. I'm sorry, people just voted for this one. So you could use your smartphone to choose. Oh. I've seen that. What's on the email? Oh, no, I'm not getting Ansel Adams. I've been having problems loading new email addresses. AOL, anybody else use AOL still? They're trying to be more like Gmail, and they've made changes that are like really weird. Like trying to add new email addresses has become very difficult. So I'm going to try adding yours again. You're going to give it to me again, Sal.
Okay. Well, I don't think I got one, except today's date. I got one today from Laura.
Yeah, so you're going to give me your email again.
I didn't have to. I have.
Yeah.
Oh. What?
Yes. I'm going to try and add here in the office. Yeah, so you can draw the landscape in pencil first, always a good idea, or this image in pencil first, and then try and paint it in black. Good, good. People are making a good start. Yeah, so that's okay. So folks at home, you have no questions? You're cooking with gas,
I have a question.
okay?
So I'm trying to do watercolors.
Okay,
So where it's white, do I just leave it as the paper?
yeah, watercolors are tricky. So with watercolor, I don't know if you have this tool, but there's something called mask.
Oh, I bought it, but I didn't know what to do with it.
So mask is something, it's like crayon resist, where
Mm,
you paint the mask wherever you want it to stay white,
mm.
and it will resist the paint and the paper will stay white.
And then do you rub it off after?
Yeah, it'll flake off or you rub it off. It doesn't
Oh,
really
okay.
matter.
That's what I wasn't sure of.
It dries matte and clear, so you could even leave it on and it's fine.
Oh,
And to make the black lighter, you just add more water, just like
Yeah.
with the ink. And you may even have white paint in your, do you have a watercolor box? Do you have
I do.
paint cakes? You
Uh-huh.
can try using the white. I
Mm.
like white watercolor paint.
You don't or you do?
When I was in art school, we were told not to use it ever. So I have a personal prejudice against it.
So in art school, did they tell you not to use black too,
Yes,
to darken things?
we were taught to mix these two colors together, ultramarine blue
Mm.
and alizarin crimson. And then to add a color called Payne's Gray, Payne''S. I'm going to put it in the chat for you.
Mhm.
Those of you who love watercolor, this will, oh, I don't know how to do the chat when I'm sharing.
Oh, no worries. I'm not
Here we
that
go.
advanced yet.
Here's the chat. I'm putting it in the chat. So ultramarine blue, and this works with oils and acrylics too. Ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and my all-time favorite color of all time, and Payne's Gray. And Payne's Gray is really a very deep, dark blue,
Mm.
but it's a cold blue. It's a gray blue. It's almost like, it's almost like, I'm blocking the word, indigo,
Mm.
like natural dye indigo. So folks at home, always, and I didn't mention it today because it goes without saying, you can work first in pencil, sketch out your composition lightly first, and then paint in shades of gray. I always recommend everyone here and at home, you can always sketch first in pencil, particularly if you're not feeling confident with the media you've chosen to use. Yeah, how are you going to do that with this? Is there one on this side?
Yes, there is. So,
Oh, there's two.
would you want this? More. And you go to hide floating meeting channel. Got it?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So that should work during the slideshow too.
Escape. Hit escape to come back. So you go to more. Hide floating Then escape to bring it back.
All right.
More. Show me more. Hide,
We'll
floating.
try at the end of class. We'll go back to the slideshow. Because people here are busy looking at the screen.
Finish
Oh.
talking. Behind this goes in the way. Hide, floating meeting. And it's at the bottom. Hit escape. The ball's there. You can move it back down. Okay, but you need a mouse. Do you have a mouse?
Never used a mouse.
Okay, well, that might help you. For some reason, it's limiting on the screen with this touchpad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Actually, no, now it's not. It's interesting. Escape.
This laptop is so old.
But again, if we were to move it up here.
And then I can hit more.
Let me move this, a bit more. Hide, floating, meeting control.
But in order
And
to hit
escape.
more, I have to have the cursor.
Yeah. For
Which,
some reason, it's there now.
during the slideshow, the cursor isn't.
Try it again when you're in.
Okay.
Oh, PowerPoint. We want to, but this is PowerPoint. Isn't it? Isn't this where this?
No, this is
Oh,
now,
okay.
this is now a single
Well, we'll try
photo.
PowerPoint next time.
Keynote, I did the slideshows in Keynote. Wow. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you how to do. Darn. And you can do it. You can take now an eraser. You can erase lines and details. Now, no, you need to be creative. You get an eraser. Guys, listen up. If you're using charcoal, you can lay a dark, flat ground, and then you can take an eraser and you can lift out white lines and details. I forgot to show that before, forgive me. Some days I forget my head. My mother would always say, Elizabeth, your head wasn't attached, get that too. If you want to see me do that, those of you who are here, come on over to this table. I'm going to do a demo. If you don't mind, can I touch your work? Thank you so much. You're so kind. If you want to see, you have to come over here because it's not on screen. So you need this kind of eraser. It's called the gum eraser. And you can literally erase from the charcoal, you see? So that once it gets dirty, it becomes impossible. You have to keep pulling on it. Get a clean piece. Stuff they do so. It's called the gum eraser. And the darker you make the charcoal, the easier it is to lift out the white contrast. It's a beautiful drawing. Now, if you don't like what I did, just take your charcoal and cover it. Or your finger, you can take your finger and smush over what it is.
I keep the pencil and charcoal.
Together works well, doesn't it? We call this mixed media.
Ah, I may try.
I like your details. I have a new clean one. Let me see if I can find a new one. This might be a graphite. So. Okay. Oh, this is graphite crayon. You're gonna love. It's harder to spend the charcoal. This is what's inside of this. That before. I would have demonstrated with that if I'd known I had to.
Oh, no. I was.
I'm not sure yet. Jerry and I have to discuss. And you can, if you want a tiny stage, you still. Anybody else want a gum eraser? Oh. Oh. What's this? This must be shoes. No, Dina. What is this funny picture, Dina, on your screen? Now Margot's looking. Oh, and Laura,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is that keeps appearing. I don't want to embarrass Alice, but it's this Alice Larson is requesting remote control of your screen. And we know, I'm sure she's not. Alice is busy drawing. I can tell she's drawing. Because she's so focused. Right, Alice? You're busy. No, it's Alice too. Alice, maybe you had something leaning on your keyboard or something. No? It went away. Anybody use?
I could show you,
Alice, the problem's gone away, so don't worry about it.
well, you know how to do the share screen? And I could show you,
Oh, yes. So I have to remove this picture though. Oh, I can? Okay. All right, we can be side by side. You sure? Allow to multi-pin.
I see it. Oh, go ahead, maybe end the share.
No, it's- hold your picture up, Alan, because then I can. Wow, it's pretty fantastic.
if you know how to share the screen, I could show you what it came from, you know, the photograph.
I can, but I would have to remove the image that everybody's drawing at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
So let's do that at the end, okay?
Well, I have to leave now to go to a meeting at the.
Oh,
memory
darn.
care. So anyway, that's just the.
Can you, Alice, listen to me. Take a picture of it,
Yeah, I did.
please,
Mhm.
and send me a JPEG as well as with the JPEG of what you're copying.
Okay,
And then I can look at them together.
okay. I'll do that.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry you have to leave, and good luck.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That drawing is fantastic. And Gina, are you holding this up or you changed your screen saver to show this? I feel like I've seen this great drawing before, Dina. Bye, Alice. And what time is it? Oh, so we still have time. Still got the time. Gosh. There you go, you did it, Eileen. Well done. Well done. I realize it's a challenge, but you did it. It is very subtle. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful drawing. I'm coming around behind you. I want to show you a fun thing you can do. And first of all, my name is Liz. Here's something you can do that's fun. Oh. Wow. Oh, I
how to properly differentiate. You have strong honey. Oh. No. Dark, once a year. Some of your space. Oh, yeah. That's, oh, yeah. I did not. The first time yes, the black is more fluid. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes, thinner. This is pretty spectacular. This is stuff. Yeah, not enough time. Now there's good job, my patient. Yeah. It's easier to do your background first. Always. We're so in love with detail that we want to get those little tiny details because we think it's going to be harder. And it is, and that's why it's always easier to do the background first and then work on the details then. Beautiful work. You try to get some of that dark space first and then come back and yeah. Well, I would do a thin layer of the dark first, so it'll dry, then work on doing with your shapes, your composition, everything's excellent. Just keep on. You're doing really well. So in the drawing, I wouldn't worry about the pieces.
Oh, okay.
Try and fill the whole page
Oh,
first,
really?
and then come back into
I don't know how to do those lacy leaves.
do the outline of the leaves first, and then come back in to try and tap. You should try and fill in the whole page.
Oh.
Don't agree, why you erase it?
It wasn't any good. It's trying to get the shape and
Try and get the big shapes and doing wonderful work.
Everybody at home good? Susan, Doris, you good? Dina, Mika. Mika, are you doing pen and ink? Yeah, okay. She said it's like midnight.
that's devotion, right?
Yeah.
Doing good.
You're good, Dina? Okay, good.
Yes.
How's Lauren? Hope she's good too. And Pat, are you still there? Lizzie, you good? Margot? Stephanie? E, you
Yep,
good? Lizzie?
I'm good.
For your help this morning,
No
Ralph.
problem.
Those of you who've never been to the library, you have to come in because the staff here are the best. Just saying.
Judy, this was fire what you did. Oh, I see. Let's-
Bro, have in his mouth. Yo.
And you notice, Alice,
Nobody's in here. I'm Oliver, by the way, Oliver Putnam. Charles Hayden Savage.
Hey, I'm Mabel.
No, really, what is, oh, great.
Get out.
Go in the house. Please remember to mute
Yes,
folks'
it's
phone.
panties. It is not gray, too obvious.
Exactly.
Absolutely, listen, I'm just relieved that something of Becky Butler showed up somewhere. I
Please
also forgot
remember
my
to mute those of you at home.
I'll make student council president, get a smile that would light up a room. Wow, yeah, yeah, I'm all for the peeling of the onion. Let's pace it up, people, please. Do that point.
Thank you.
30 years ago when Tony was a
Somebody
kid.
still has their
Your parents
mic
replaced
on.
yours? God, you don't have to answer
Mute
it. Mabel.
Those of you who are at
I
home.
mean, unless you want to, because I'm also curious.
How do I know you?
Oh, Charles was in old TV series.
I can't figure out who it is, but somebody's mic is on. Please
Oh,
mute.
okay.
As for me,
Cheers. Cheers.
directing is my day job. Certainly would.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. Try and remember, everyone, let go of the desire for perfection. Oh, Alice already sent me her pictures. Gotten 3 phone calls. Yeah, I really like it. It's more dark line.
11:44. Want to share or keep working? Let's take a vote. Who wants to share? All right. Did again? Lindsay wants to share. Can we bring the camera around to see? You know, if you come up to the laptop, and we're gonna stop sharing the picture on the screen because it's almost time to clean up, guys. Sorry. So I'm stopping the share. You can find this image online. Just Google Ansel Adams, you will find it. So we're gonna spotlight. I'm probably mispronouncing Yunzi.
Yes, yes.
Yunzi is going to share her work for folks at home, and here, hold it up. Look how beautiful. Have you ever painted before?
This is my first time trying. I only did the color, color filling, but this is my first time doing a black and gray landscape painting. So I really need the encouragement. This is the result.
Wonderful. Really, I love the little bit of black that is separating the shoreline from the sea. It's just really lovely. Well
Beautiful.
done. And I think it's just about done. You can see I would let it dry a little bit and then maybe do a reassessment at that point. Once this paint is dry, you could take just a regular black Sharpie and maybe add some fine details. Like texture in the sand with some little dots with the black Sharpie might bring it to life. It's really quite nice. I would frame it. Come share. The youngest and most prolific member of our class. Tell me your name again. Lintry?
No, Yantry.
Yantry. That's good. This is Yantry's work. I absolutely crazy love this picture.
Gorgeous,
Right?
gorgeous.
She is charcoal and the gum eraser.
Beautiful.
It really looks like an Ansel Adams photograph. Look at the great contrast between dark and light.
Fantastic.
Look at this one. Can you hold this one?
Oh, beautiful.
I love the reflection in the pond. How
Yeah.
charming and wonderful is this picture?
Beautiful. Great job.
Great composition. Well done. Please come to class again. We would love to have you come again. Anyone else? Daniel, you want to share? Come on up.
Oh, oh, gorgeous.
Bravo.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the house had to be a little bit stylized in order to not make it perfect. But I'm actually proud of how the trees came.
Good, you should be very proud of it. Yeah, the texture, specifically the texture in the trees, well done, right? Well done. Is this a place you've been to or is this an imagination?
Yes, I've been there. It was during my trip, my road trip from weeks ago. I have pictures and I found this house on an island in, what was it? Lake George.
It's in Lake George. Gosh, Georgia O'Keeffe would love this. 'cause
Yeah.
She lived in. All right, thank you, Daniel.
Beautiful,
Excellent.
beautiful.
All right, anyone? Oh, here comes Heather. Yay. Yeah, this is magnificent. Bravo.
Oh, Heather, it's gorgeous. It's so wonderful. Oh, my
Wow,
goodness.
this is really cool.
It's wonderful.
This is Heather, renamed Great Renaissance Painter, right? And she's charcoal exclusively. Really well done. Anybody at home? Mika, what are you doing? Let's see. Oh, and somebody has their hand up, but for some reason I can't see who it is because all of a sudden my mouse. Oh, Stephanie. Oh, no, wait, Esty, and then Stephanie. You want the applause? This is the applause hog here. Look how cool is this?
Whoa, fabulous.
Does it looks like a figure.
No, it's stones.
It's stones, but it has a figurative quality to it for me.
It does.
Very nice. Beautiful.
No, she just did it today. Yeah. Well done. All right, Stephanie is next. Let's spotlight you, Stephanie. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. It's Eileen.
This is an abstract. It started out as a pond,
Wait up, Stephanie.
with trees in it, but it ended up like abstract.
Wow.
Ah,
And look, she practiced grayscale and did extremely well. How does it look this way? Look at that.
I like it.
I like abstract. I don't have to draw.
Brilliant. Sorry, Stephanie, because that was historic for Eileen to want to share her work. Thank you, Eileen. So proud. Wait, it's Stephanie's turn. Oh, Judy's going to be next. Wow.
Beautiful.
Beautiful pencil drawing. These are onions.
Yep. Really nice. Beautiful.
Pencil, right?
Pencil, yep. Uh-huh. Nice
I
composition.
have one suggestion, Stephanie. This is beautifully rendered. I would get even a little bit darker underneath the onions. It will really ground them and
Oh, you're
stitch it
right. Yeah,
in the flat surface and make them look even more 3D.
right.
Beautiful detail.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, Judy is next. Come on up, Judy. And after Judy is Pat. Judy's beautiful, beautiful acrylic. This looks very Japanese.
Yeah, from flower under the snow.
Very nice.
This is an acrylic.
Mm.
Well done, Judy.
It's beautiful.
Have you ever worked just in black and white before? Okay, well done. Susie, you did great today. Sally, you did great today. Sally, you did well done today.
Liz, may
All
I
right,
share?
Pat.
Oh, Pat.
Let's see what you made, Pat.
Okay, I'll show you the picture I tried to mimic first is this one. This is his photo.
What you were copying, okay.
So I'm copying.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, wow, it's ink?
bravo.
Yes, it's in.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous.
Well done, Pat. I
Beautiful.
have nothing to say. I love it.
Thank you.
Well done. And-
Liz, may I share?
Sure. Susan's next. Esty and Susie, shush, shush. Susan is showing her work. Well done.
It was from a
Great
color.
textural effect.
It was hard because this is in color and I had to change it.
Oh, it
into
looks almost exactly like the photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want maybe a little more definition in the sunflower.
Okay.
Somehow, maybe some
Yeah.
shadow behind the sunflower, because the
Mhm.
mountains are so imposing and dark, and then this, whatever this is, river is so dark. The sunflower is getting lost for me, and it's so beautifully done. I want it to be a little more defined. Well done.
Thank you.
Mika, I need to see what you've done. Because we missed you, Mika. Can you show what you've done? And then obviously anyone else who wants to share. Wow. Wait, that's here in Hoboken. That's on the waterfront, right? Aw, gonna cry. It's a beautiful, it's ink, Mika, right? It's ink. No, watercolor? Watercolor. I think she's having a hard time hearing. All right, Mika, you've earned a good night's sleep. Go to bed. Go to bed. Anyone else here want to share? Lizzie? Oh, Doris wants to share. And Mika, I hope we see you next week too. All right, beautifully. I'm not sure your media, is it pencil or pastel?
Pencil.
Pencil. Wow, this is really spectacular. Wow. And you can get, what I would recommend, Doris, take the tip of the pencil now and really get black very close underneath the leaf.
Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah, I was trying to, and then I was spreading it out with the
Right.
yeah.
Right, but now don't hesitate to get really black. Don't blend anymore.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Make it sharp. Yes, some of the people who are in this class have been coming for years, but Sally, listen to me. Listen to me. You have been doing extremely well in the few lessons that you have been here. So my advice is do not compare your work to anyone else's. You are on your own path. You are learning in your own way, and you have your own style. You have your own style, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
That's not what the animation is. Look for it.
Yeah. That's what's valued about your work. Not so much the skill, but the style. Anybody can learn the tricks that I'm teaching you now. The importance is to let your own personal style come through.
And I don't know.
Well, it's coming. Lizzie, do you want to share, Lizzie? Wow, look at this. Get darker behind the swans, Lizzie. Make the water behind the swans darker so they're really popping in the picture. Right now they're a little hard to see. So underneath and behind the swans, make it a little darker. Yeah, beautiful. The trees are gorgeous. Nice composition too.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Thanks for your guidance.
You're welcome. Anybody else here? Come, Ambika's gonna share.
Oh, you have it?
Works in progress are the best things to share because you can get advice. Look at this, everybody. I love the textural effects. It's very close to being finished. Love it. Keep going. This part for me is a little confusing here. You might want to figure out more of what you want to do there. And then maybe a little darker around the edge. But it's beautiful composition. And these textural things, fantastic. Anybody else want to share? We're already cleaning. Tamara, did you want to share? Tamara, and we go back a long way. If she wants to share, she'll come. All right, Tamara. Beautiful. Look at the detail.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Just gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah, you achieve that icy effect. Tamara, my suggestion, let it dry and then use some white. Yeah, you gotta let it dry. You can pour a little bit of white paint in a cup and take it with you. All right, well, sorry, it's the end of class. I will see you all next week. I hope we did so well. This was a challenge, I know. We love color, so actually black is my favorite color on earth, but working in black and white is a different challenge. See you soon, Daniel. Bye, Judy. So goodbye, everyone. See you next week. We will have a new artist to focus. And I love working with you all today. Art on.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Enjoy the gorgeous weather today.